everybody. I'm Audrey Moore with the Audrey Helps Actors podcast, and this is episode 127. Looking to get this session to first change this lemon of a year around. Today we have Sarah Gardner Antista. Sarah has done everything from ballet dancing to humanitarian work in Jordan during the Syrian civil war. All of that life experience has made her look at her acting career in a unique light than many others who have different experiences. We discuss finding joy and creativity in the business side of acting, looking at acting like a marriage, how to maintain passion in this career, and a big surprise we have in store for Sarah. Big surprise. Self-Tape May 2025 is here. We just had our kickoff meetup last week, and it was so wonderful to see your faces. I just love taking selfies where we smoosh our faces together. I like face smooshing. If you want to participate, all you have to do is upload some self-tapes to Instagram in the month of May with the hashtag SelfTapeMay. If you do 16 tapes, you will automatically be entered to win this year's prize package. It's free. It's an awesome community. And there are only 2 rules, just 2. If it's a real self-tape, you got to put it on mute. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. They're not going to be mad at me. They will be mad at you. 2, make sure to include a heart in every self-tape. That's my way of making sure you're doing it this month and not using old tapes like a cheater, pumpkin eater. Now, you can wear a heart sticker if you want. In the beginning, you can just show me little heart hands. Just little heart hands, and then cut, and then add the tape after that, or opposite, tape, and then cut. And then you have a little heart hand. You could just write on a piece of paper. You just scratch out heart. Just show me your hearts. Otherwise, there are no rules. Do a monologue, do one line, do the same line 16 different ways. The self-tape police are not coming for you. There's only one self-tape May police, you guys, and that's me, and I am not interested in policing. So do whatever you want. And if you do any romantic comedies, just send them to me. I want rom-coms. I want the senior actors out there to do rom-coms. I want everyone to do rom-coms, but specifically, if you are a senior actor, you do a rom-com. It's my request. Sign up now for free at selftapemay.com to be eligible for the prize package. Sign up now for free at selftapemay.com to be eligible for the prize package. But you know what? It's okay if you don't finish 16 tapes. It's okay if you're like, I'm not even going to try to do 16 tapes. I'm just going to try to do 2. And you know why? Because the theme of the season is grace. We need some grace. Give yourself some grace. Reviews. Here are the rest of reviews from the break. Thank you to Lauren, DH22, G-Trip50, Samaya 96, Bethel 2345, Z55 smiley face, Simply Hoagie like the sandwich. I appreciate your help. Lizzie Zerebko, Delian, JC, Zoe Kant, 1122. Yes, you can. Oh, great. I love it when it starts with a colon. No, 98, PR, 92. Great. Love it. Reem and Mira Kelly. Hi, girl. Thank you for your reviews. They help the podcast. So take 10 seconds and go to ratethispodcast.com/Audrey. That's ratethispodcast.com/Audrey. This week's podcast is brought to you by Casting Networks. Go to castingnetworks.com/Audrey. Get $65 off a Casting Networks premium annual membership with promo code Audrey65. You've been waiting all year for it. Audrey65. It works even if you're going to re-up. Are you going to re-up? Use it. Just use it. Any difficulties, just email them and say, I want money off. Here's Audrey65. Give me $65. And audition. Tell me what happens. I hope you're on your way to an audition, and I hope you book it. And if you're not on your way to an audition, I hope it's because somebody is coming over to help you tape. And then you book it.
Audrey helps actors because they don't know anything.
Hi, everybody. I'm Audrey Moore with the Audrey Helps Actors podcast. And today we have
Sarah Gardner Antista.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so thankful to be here. It's truly like I've been listening to you since you started. My friend Avery sent me your podcast and she was like, listen to this.
Yes.
And I was like, okay. And then I just started taking notes, and you've been truly so integral on my journey, my acting journey, and so many other people that I know. So
awesome.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And thank you. The first thing I want to hit on is that you are, in your own way, a weirdly second act actor.
Mm-hmm.
You're a young second act actor, but tell everybody about your previous life and what made you pull to acting, and what did you do to sort of jump in?
Yeah. Before I started doing the whole acting thing, I grew up doing ballet. So our dance company was very theatrical. So we would do like Cinderella and like all these fun shows. And I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do this all the time.
Yeah.
And then when I was in like my teen years, I started doing nonprofit mission work with my church, and we were traveling and stuff. And I was like, actually, I love traveling. I kind of want to live overseas and like help people. So after I graduated high school, I was like, you know what? Fuck college. I'm going to go live overseas in the Middle East. To which my mom said, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But then moved overseas, lived over in Jordan for about 3 years, right around the time when the Syrian civil war was beginning. So there was a lot of work that we were doing with refugees. And I mean, just a plethora of things, but I did that for about 3 years. And towards the end of my third year, the middle of my third year, I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to try acting. I've always wanted to give this a go. And so I just on a whim started applying to different conservatories. And then I got into one in New York after auditioning and was like, okay, I'm going to try this, and been trying it ever since.
A constant nonstop life of trying. It's real.
Yes.
Great. And tell everyone what's harder, Syria, Civil War, or Hollywood?
Hollywood, unequivocally.
Well, damn.
If you had told me the thousands of dollars, the tears that I would shed every single day for this career, or sometimes what feels like a shell of it, I don't know if I truly don't know if I would have done it. I have fallen in love with it. I've fallen in love with the people that I've met. I've fallen in love with the industry and its quirks, but I don't know if I would have done it, because I fell in love with the creative part, like we all do, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't until I started listening to your podcast and then started working with different coaches and people on the business side of it that I sort of had an oh shit moment. And I was like, oh, I need to be rich to do this, but like I'm not. So what do I do? And just had to get creative, but in a different way, not creative with auditions or storytelling, but creative with, okay, what's my strategy? How am I going to do this? And how am I going to make it sustainable for myself? And how am I going to enjoy the ride? Because I want to enjoy this. I remember you saying on a podcast one time, like, if you're not enjoying this, or
what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, you don't choose this on accident. It's a very purposeful decision, and it's because you love it. And so I'm like, I got to try to find the love every day.
That's it.
So I definitely have no regrets now, but I wish I had had some more sobering truth at the beginning.
Well, it's interesting because I wonder if you did and you just couldn't hear it. That's always an important thing, because I go back now to all the things people said to me and I'm like, yeah. But you don't know what you don't know. Being broke and cool and an actress at 25 is one experience. And then 10 years later is another experience. And then 10 years later is another, it's just life continues to happen in a career path that is also chaotic. And you can't really know what your tolerance is for that till you really step in and you're like,
May I ask, I want to know, do you do a check-in, and how often do you check in for your own self? I mean, I'm curious on that process for you.
Sure. Yeah, I check in all day, every day.
Every moment.
I'm very clear about it. I did the first several episodes on this podcast about quitting because I asked everybody on social, what do you want to talk about or hear people talk about with regard to the pursuit of acting? And everybody said, moving on, quitting, taking a break, whatever. And I talked about myself, and I said that, I think about it all the time in the sense of, is my resources and my talents, are they being put to use in a way that I feel satisfied by? And then just logistically, being in a major market has its costs, but Jesse and I are always talking with each other, and we're like, I don't have any impulse to go anywhere else. Like, I still so deeply love what the city offers, and everyone's a little scared because they feel like, is the ship in a storm? Or is the ship sinking? Because if it's sinking, I'd rather get off. But if it's in the storm, I think I can weather a storm. And that's the thing. It's, who knows? It's Hollywood. It's got stamina.
She does.
She's a mighty little choo-choo train.
Just going.
She is that little energized bunny that could. And also, things end. Industries end all the time. But I believe in a good mix of intuition and also information.
Yes.
Looking at the math.
Yes.
And being like, okay, what is practical here? Also having like a feeling like, well, yeah, but I think this is it.
Yeah.
One of the things that's also dawned on me is knowing what you signed up for and how it's really hard to explain to people the costs without being like a drag. And I want to be clear about that because I don't want anyone to ever feel like I'm like, well, okay, you want to be an actor? Like, good luck. It's more from a place of empowerment of, if you want to be an actor, great. So here's what being competitive looks like, and here's what that costs.
Yes.
And you may not have that money right now, but then that's the plan, is like growing enough of your career and your finances, enough time and energy that you get to even just competitive. We all have these dreams, and many people have dreams like to just go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm dreaming of going to Hawaii. And most people aren't going to make it to Hawaii, even though it's just get on a plane.
But to get that logistically going.
The logistical side takes so much that maybe they don't have. And so then it's like somebody comes on and is like, do I have a timeshare for you? And you're like, awesome. And that's why big dreams allow for big scams, because you're looking for the shortcut between what you can actually do and what you dream about executing.
Yes.
And also so many people then get to Hawaii and they're like, oh no. Because they're like, it rained the entire time that we were there.
Which it does there.
Which it does. And it's not at all what you envisioned. And that's just a dream versus reality, no matter what it is.
That is so true. Two things. One, my sort of motto has been the last couple years, just out of necessity, I've had to just tell myself slow and steady wins the race. Because I think I was sort of, when I graduated, I was from conservatory. I was like, okay, got to make everything happen right now because this is what I want and this is what I want to have happen. And, nothing has happened. Nothing in my life in general has happened the way that I wanted it to or imagined. But I think in a good way, it's been like, okay, like I'm just going to make little small incremental moves every day. I remember I had a teacher in conservatory tell us before we graduated, he was like, do one thing a day for your career. And little by little, that will build up.
Absolutely.
And it helped me because I'm such a list person and I will be like 10 things to do today and then I'll get overwhelmed and then
crash.
Yeah. And it's like, let's just choose one or two and cry in my bed. So that, and then also I think for me, and this might sound really cheesy, but I think something for a while I was like, okay, I like this career. I like this industry. I like this art. I love when I get to do it. Keywords when I get to do it, because that's not as often as the rest of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Do I still want to do this? And I remember I was on a hike in Runyon Canyon and I had this moment where I was like, okay, this is like a marriage. Like I have to have like a commitment ceremony in my head of like, I am going to commit to doing this, because I think for me, the waffling of like, if it gets too hard or it gets too expensive, then I'm out. it was just not helpful for my personality. And I had to just be like, okay, I'm doing this. This is what I want to do. Even if I don't have my first big break, quote unquote, until I'm 75, I love this. And it's helped build the love. Now I have to, invest in that love, invest in that relationship. And that looks different every day, whether that's, okay, today I'm not going to do any acting business work, but I'm going to watch a movie that really inspires me. And that's going to fill me up in a creative way, or a book or something. Then the next day I'm reaching out to another casting director that I've been reaching out to. So investing in the love and in the commitment has been huge for me in helping me reframe.
I really am so glad that you brought that up, because I remember reading, I think it's just called Acting. It's like a book.
A book called Acting.
A book that the first chapter, page 1, is decide. Decide you're going to do this. Yeah. Don't even do anything, just decide. And that was very weird for me, because I decided at 7, and I was like, crazy eyes, like, madness, let's go. And I never like so much. I was never like, and now we're gonna be an actress. I was just like in a bobsled or something.
Love that.
Going down on ice. And my family, honestly, they were just like, she is not pregnant and she is not on meth. Whatever she wants.
She's just going.
She sends, so it's like, expectations low with my family, enthusiasm high. And so for me, I hadn't considered that, but it's something that I see a lot of. I describe it as somebody who has the gas on at the same time as the brake. And then they're wondering why they're not making progress. And also they wonder why they can't get representation. And I always hear from reps, I can't want this for you more than you want this for you.
It's not how it works.
And so it's like, if I'm the one who has to be really passionate that you can do this, then it's just like I'm going to be like moving a wet noodle. Yeah. I like put on the brakes sometimes, but I want somebody who's like, let's go because it's hard. And if you feel like you're just a matter of time, you're like, I'm just a matter of time, then reps feel that, collaborators feel that, casting feels that, and people want a ticket because really having that authentic belief in yourself, they want a ticket on that ride.
It's a freeing thing too, because I think I also battled with like, am I crazy for doing this?
Yes.
Once I sort of understood the stats and how everyone wants to do it, I was like, oh, then what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a unique dream and maybe I should just stop. And I just was like, it is. It is a wild thing, and it's a wild industry to be a part of. And there's a lot of times where the wins may feel few and far in between, but I also think it's a mindset shift of just like, okay, I have a win every day, whether that's in my class, just having a scene that I really feel in touch with, and like the work is brave and not held back. That's a win. Just having that attitude of like, there are wins to be seen and had every day, and not getting my mind off the goals that I have, but just like, I'm only in control of what my mindset, my POV is, and what I decide to do action-wise. And that's it.
That's it.
And can't control the rest.
Let's see what happens.
Which is really hard, which is why I'm in therapy.
Yeah.
To make sure that doesn't get, out of control.
Corrode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. One of the things I also want to talk to you about was moving to Los Angeles. So many people are always like, should I move to LA? And I have my points of view about many people. I think like, you don't need to be here. And many people I'm like, you better be in New York. Like that, your worlds, they're over there.
They're there.
So tell me about coming here as a choice. What was the what would you call it? Like the alchemy that came together for you to decide that this was the market you wanted to come and invest in?
I think there were a few practical factors. One, while I did train in a conservatory that focused on theater, I realized pretty quickly that theater is not what I wanted to do. So then I was like, okay, TV and film. There's a lot of that in New York. But then as I started honing my type, I suppose. Just like who I am and like what I bring energy wise, I realized that yes, New York could work, but I think I started realizing that maybe another market might suit me better. So 2021, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a little adventure. So I went to Atlanta for 3 months and I lived there, and then came here for 3 months and then went back to New York and sort of sat on it. And I was like, okay, I was only in each place for 3 months, but I wanted to have sort of a taste of what it could be like to live in each place.
So great.
And LA came out on top because I'm a Florida girl, so it wasn't too far from my familiarity. But also with the market here, I have a very like warm, vibrant, optimistic energy. And I think that's really more of the things that are casting here in general TV wise. And then it was almost like the universe was like pointing me towards this because I got representation pretty quickly and I wasn't getting it there. And I was like, okay.
I want to point out so many smart things that you just said, because I find that so many people are just like going on abandoned instinct, like just like, and my friend booked 2 jobs in Atlanta, I'm off. And
I wish it was that easy.
It's like, well, your friend's 30 years older than you, and it's like,
you guys are not the same.
Yeah, you are not in the same. But we get into this starvation mode that then send people into like weird magical tangents, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
What I love so much about what you did is that you said, I'm going to explore before I commit. And if that's not art, I don't know what is. I mean, honestly,
Amen.
That's what we're doing here. Explore, feel around, and then make a choice. Make a choice that hopefully has some guidance so that you're not going to one market and then spending all that time wondering if you should have been in the other market. And God help me, if I could get conservatories and colleges to tell people about the markets, it would save
we need
you guys.
to start a revolution.
I mean, really though.
It's really like, I'm serious. That could be a tangent forever because
what we're going to do is talk about it. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things, because I want to talk, I'm always interested. I'm getting a lot of feedback from actors when I'm doing meetups and out and about of now everyone's going back to grad school.
I know. Yeah. Actually, that's really interesting. I agree.
Everyone,
that's so true.
Everyone's
they
like,
are.
Really, grad school's calling. And one thing I want to say, if you are thinking about going to grad school for whatever you're thinking about going to it, I just implore you, to reach out to people who have recently graduated within the last 5 years from that program, whether it's a training program for something more academic and you're going to have more of a day job, or if you're going to grad school for acting. I mean, I've been very clear about my points of view about all of that in the podcast. But in case you haven't heard that episode, it's going to take 3 years out of your life. And what I would hate to have happen is for anybody to feel like, oh, this is hard.
Yep.
And it's because we are in a particularly hard spot right now.
Yep.
This is hard. I'm going to go to grad school and have grad school save me. Mm-hmm. And my family supports me, and I'm going to get some financial aid, and I'm going to go do that. But then leave that program and then be none the richer, none the more employable.
No jobs are coming right away. Yeah.
Any of that. And so you have another degree, but just make sure you're not going from one magical thinking scam to another magical thinking scam.
Oh, yeah.
Is the thing you're going to go spend 3 years and X amount of money in actually going to procure a difference in your lifestyle? Mm-hmm. As opposed to just a 3-year deterrent that costs a lot of money, time, and energy.
But I also think it comes from this need, especially in our culture, I would say more than other cultures, but we have this need to just keep doing things. And it's like a constant, like, what am I going to do next? And I got to be busy, and I got to do this, and I got to do that without stopping to ground ourselves and being like, do I even want to do this? Am I doing this just because I feel like I need to have some forward motion instead of being strategic about that forward motion? And I think that's what's hard is like, there are days where I'm like, oh yeah, like I feel like I've done all I can do today. What should I do? And it's like, maybe I don't need to do anything right now.
Calm your nervous system
down. Calm my nervous system down. Like figure out a way to just, and that, so I just think we don't stop and take a breath enough. I certainly don't.
I agree. And just research, just as I wish that when you graduated from college with your acting degree, that somebody had said to you, okay, here's what New York jobs as an actor looks like.
That would be so helpful.
Here's what they pay.
That would be great.
Here's what isn't in New York.
Yeah.
Here's what is in New York.
Yeah.
And here's what a lifestyle as a New York actor offers and doesn't offer. Here's what that offers in Atlanta. Here's what that is in New Mexico. Here's what that is in Chicago. If you want to be a New England actor, great. Just land yourself in Boston and just work the whole coast, right? And here's what Los Angeles has to offer. And here's ways that you can min-max that experience.
Yeah.
And just know, what are we entering?
But conservatories are businesses too.
Well, this is why I'm saying
Right.
a magical thinking
They don't.
scam.
Yeah.
Just make sure if you're going to go to grad school that you have done some due diligence to make sure that the thing that you want the grad school to offer, it's actually going to offer.
Yes.
Maybe you're like, I need a stable source of income that's not serving. And so I'm going to go get a degree to do that. Great. And all I ask is, do you need a degree to go do that? Because if I've learned anything, people finish from school all day, every day, and then they go into the field, and then they realize they didn't need that degree
Oh, yeah.
at all.
Oh, yeah.
And so all I say is talk to somebody who already did the program.
Yeah.
And then see, do I need that program?
Yeah.
Or could I just apply to that job maybe at a slightly more entry level, or could I just apply to the job?
Right.
And then just start.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's many jobs that is more conducive for.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't want my doctor to do that or, other people.
Yeah, but if you're going to be a doctor, are you
yes.
going to be an actor? Like that,
No,
that to
different.
me doesn't, right.
Different.
And so if it's a money thing, I just ask that you investigate that it's going to make you money
Yes.
at the end of it
Yes.
and give you the stability and security that you're looking for. Or are you just going into another field that you hope will give you great returns and gains, but is also just as completely chaotic and unbalanced and emotional wreckage
Yep.
as a pursuit of the arts
Yep.
can often be. But wait, Sarah, wait. I just want to smush you. Little chicks are so sweet. I have to interrupt you.
Help me. I need some help.
And now it's time for listener questions.
I'm so scared.
This listener question is brought to you by Casting Networks, the platform where more high-quality roles are booked than any other casting service. With a premium membership, you can unlock every tool you need to get noticed. It's my favorite thing. I like getting noticed, you guys. Land the audition, maybe even more of my favorite thing, and book the job. My most favorite thing. On the Casting Network's iOS app, get access to premium exclusive features and find your next role on the go. The go-to resource for casting directors and currently used by thousands of the world's most prolific casting directors. Wider variety and higher quality roles than other casting platforms. A premium membership lets you unlock, boom, unlimited photos. Boom. Unlimited headshot uploads and reels to your profile. Boom. Browse and submit to unlimited roles on the casting billboard. Boom. Link your Instagram to showcase your versatility and social reach. Boom. Track your submissions with Role Tracker. God, don't you guys just want to find out who booked your role? It's all I want in life. Access to health and well-being perks with our Thrive program, U.S. residents only. Find an agent in Talent Scout. I love Talent Scout. I love Talent Scout. Do Talent Scout. Promote your personal brand using a custom profile link and get cast faster with the iOS app. Go to castingnetworks.com/Audrey and get $65 off with promo code Audrey65. Call us with your listener questions at 667-ACTOR-70. That's 667-ACTOR-70.
Hi, Audrey. It's Erin in Los Angeles. I wanted to call and say thank you to everyone that offered me support over the course of the last year. As you had mentioned at some point, I had tongue cancer and the outlook was not great, but guess what? I'm a tough bitch and I did it. I beat cancer and I still can talk and I still have my tongue. I lost about 80% of it, but I don't think you'd be able to tell if you didn't know me before. So I just wanted to say thank you to you and everybody that offers support, and I hope to see you all soon. And I also do have an interesting question. So I had gotten headshots before my tongue cancer diagnosis. I was pretty happy with them, but I need new ones. I have a new body. I have a new look. I have a new thing going on. So what would you suggest as far as how to approach my new look, body, down, to have some scars going on? Do we want to highlight that? What do we want to do? I have an idea, but I want to hear your opinion. All right. Thank you. Bye. Happy Self-Tape Day.
Let me just say, Erin, girl, I saw you yesterday at the meetup and you sound outstanding. You're absolutely right. I would never know. 80% of your tongue? I mean, gasp is what I have to say to that. I didn't know it was one of my worst nightmares until I had a couple friends who also had tongue cancer, yourself included, and I was just what I didn't even know that was an option. And so I am thrilled. I'm inspired. I am grateful for your candidness with your journey, and I am just so thrilled with how much progress you've made and how, you are not going to get Erin down. I don't know if you guys know Erin, but you are not going to get that girl down. In terms of headshots, maybe there's somebody out there that wants to give Erin some free headshots as a ruthless cancer survivor. But, no pressure. Also, in terms of things to capture, I love a scar in a headshot. I'm just here to say, you just don't know when something like that is going to help you book a role. If you got scars, I say do it. I say show it. I say yes. And, it doesn't have to be every photo, but definitely one or two that highlight this new extra special skill you have called I Come With Scars. Take a look-see, huzzah. I'm here for it. So yes, celebrate who you are, where you are now. And I hope you crush it because you always do. And send me your new photos. Yay! If you get a scar one, I'll post it. Woo!
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
I wanted to ask you if you had any questions for me that you wanted. Anything specific you want to talk about today?
Well, because we came off strikes, pandemic strikes, and then the fires, I feel like 2025, we're all still like tiptoeing forward. There's not as much that's being made. And in this landscape with extroverting our talent, are there different ways that you're noticing are better than others or more helpful than others?
When it comes to extroverting your talent, first of all, I think the best way to do it is whatever you can do most. And it doesn't make you want to like beat your face against a wall because everyone has different tolerances for that. For some people, they can go to workshops 4 times a week and meet casting directors and then be amongst other people and watch work. And that is sometimes exhausting, but also like they get it, they know what they're doing, and they find that satisfying.
Yes.
Whereas the concept of maybe using social media to extrovert your talent is like they just want to sort of die. Yeah. And some people, they would rather eat coal than go to a workshop. But starting to play around with their artistic voice on various social platforms is more fun, more interesting, more satisfying, any of those things. I will say, when you're extroverting your talent, is it something you enjoy? Does it seem sustainable? Do you feel like you're getting results? What are your expectations of results?
That's good.
And do you feel growth and challenge at the same time? It's interesting sitting here now with these relationships that I woke up and was like, oh, I've known you for like a couple decades now. That's weird. But it's the people that you were in class with. It's people you were auditioning against. It's people that were casting directors that are now agents that are now producers that are now casting directors. I mean, it's like a weird amoeba smorgasbord that's continually morphing and changing. And then there's different options available to you. But you're so right when you had said earlier about staying passionate and staying in love, because that's the engine. And if you don't have that engine, you gotta go get some gas.
Yeah, you gotta go find it.
You gotta go find it.
It's so important.
I also know that you sent some things over for me to look at.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about any of them?
Yes, I sent you a tape that I worked on with our friend Alex Wright, who helped me coach that for putting that on Actors Access.
Great.
So, yeah.
And so that tape is for Actors Access specifically as like a self-tape example?
Yes. So I needed a more more family drama, dramatic sort of clip on my Actors Access because I wanted to show that that's something I can also do.
Yeah.
So that was the purpose of it.
Great scene. So your objective is to put it on Actors Access for agents, casting managers, whoever, to look at it and see what your work looks like sort of in an audition context?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Great. One of the things that I really recommend people to do is don't put a 2.5-minute self-tape out there, you guys. Nobody wants to watch a self-tape, period. No matter who says they are, they're lying. And it's because the work that we're doing isn't written to be entertaining as a self-tape. It would be like doing a movie and then just turning it into a one-person show, no props. Film and television are visual and also music, and it's just like so much texture. And the acting is just one of them. So I recommend doing smaller bites, 15 seconds here, 30 seconds there, 20 seconds there. And mostly that it stays visually engaging as well. So making sure that your lighting is a little different, your outfit is different, your background is a little bit different, so that it really visually we can see new scene, new scene, new scene. And also you can go back to a scene. Like you can have, you can do 15 seconds of a scene, move on to something else, and then go back to 15 seconds of the other scene. There's no rules, but only pick the stuff that is truly engaging. Don't put the setup part in it. Just put the part that is like, wow, there is a person in a place expressing, learning, and feeling.
Yeah.
And then do that in as many genres and things as you want, A, evidence of, and B, that you feel like, yeah, I could book that tomorrow, and people need to see that I could do that tomorrow. That, to me, is the purpose of a self-tape reel versus just like throwing a self-tape out there. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of casting directors and agents and managers. They'll like turn it on, see if you can walk and talk, skip, see what else is there. Unless there's something very unique in terms of like you're a child actor. And so you, of course, this is how we're going to see how you can handle a lot of material and a lot of range. But the very specific cases. But for most of us, they don't want to watch
They don't, yeah. No,
Now, they
heard.
want to watch you act, but a single self-tape for 2.5 minutes is just like, just kill me.
So what I'm hearing you say is make it more bite-sized and make the production value fit maybe more the genre, the story you're trying
If
to
you
tell.
want to fit the
If you
genre,
can.
honestly, I don't care what you do with the genre of the story in terms of if you want to turn it into a neutral scene and put it in a costume, great. The self-tape police aren't calling you. If it's a romance, just so long as I get a romance. And then whatever you want to do visually.
that story in that.
Right.
Yes.
The story's there. And whatever you want to do visually.
I remember I did, because I speak Arabic as a second language, and I think we had talked about putting up a clip on Actors Access with that, featuring that. And that has gotten me great. I mean, just the fact that it is something that sets me apart from your average white Caucasian brunette girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hear what you're saying. Maybe even with that clip, just making it a little bit more focused, a little bit to the part that I'm wanting casting directors to notice.
Yeah, because I watched that tape and you take a second to get to it.
Just get to it.
All I need is, you speak Arabic? Great.
Show me.
Move on.
Right.
Like the less
They don't have time.
They don't
You're-
have. Nobody
yeah.
has time.
Nobody has time anymore.
But production's on fire. It's just permanently a state of fire, and so everyone's just trying not to get burned, right? And so nobody has time to watch your 2 minutes to prove that you speak Arabic. But it is very clear upon watching you say 3 sentences that you know how to speak Arabic.
Yeah.
And so I'm not like, prove it longer, prove it
You just
more.
see it, good, great,
It's as soon
done.
as I'm sold, I'm sold. Get the audition. Let's go.
Yes.
Great.
Heard. Love that.
In terms of the self-tape, what an outstanding, like just delicious piece of material.
so
Like
good.
get that moment on camera. That's awesome. But you were still a little bit like an acrobat trying to make sure your hands hit the bars,
Yeah.
right? As opposed to somebody who has this sense of freedom that this is what you do. This is acrobatic because just so everyone knows, this scene is based off of a true story of a family, and the stepbrother ended up killing the mom. And that kind of role takes it costs. And here's how you're going to know. At the end of filming, you should feel taken down. You should feel like it costs you. And first of all, it's a movie, so it's a particular kind of permission in performance, right, that maybe you don't get if we're doing the same scene on a procedural. And a large role. And they give her a lot of dialogue, which means they're going to want to see her do some stuff with it. They may not keep even 25% of it, but they want to see her
do something.
Work it, right? And by the end of working it, if you don't feel like, kind of just like, whoa, that was a lot. It's going to take you a second to recover from that. Yeah. So have you had that experience when working on anything, scenes in class, things like that? Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. I know what it feels like. Feeling. Yeah. And so when you work with coaches, which I'm such a fan of, just remember you have to hold yourself accountable. So even if you're doing work that your coach is like, great, and you're like, great, you have to know what the piece is asking. And if it's asking for that, then you have to stop and say, I feel really good about this. The only thing is I feel like I don't feel spent. And then your coach will help you with that. Yes. But, everyone has their lives and their different things. And I just have found no one's going to fight for you like you're going to fight for you.
Yeah. I think I filmed this tape last year, and it was right before I started doing classes regularly. And it has been so huge for me. And I know class is it's a personal decision, but for me, I was like, I need that weekly rep of getting that work and working fearlessly. And I would be interested to film this again with some more of that confidence because I think for me, the way that I found that I work is all I need is someone to say, you can go there. Yeah. And then I verbally hear that. I'm like, okay. And then I do it. But it's hard for me to say that.
And so all myself. I'm saying is, again, it's your work. Yeah. And what you haven't experienced yet is the speed train that is television sets. Most of the time, it's going so fast. No one's sitting here trying to get your acting in the right space. They're just like, this is what we got, and we're good.
No one has time for that.
They don't. And if you got the role, it's like, she's good enough. And so, and everyone's just moving on. Yep. But you have to be the person when you're on set that says, okay, Sarah, I give myself permission, go there. Because if you know that's what you need, you got to give it to you. And have a ritual where you ask that of yourself. Okay.
Love that.
Okay, really good. Tell everybody about your social media.
You can find me on Instagram at Sarah Gardner Antista.
Tell them how to spell that.
SarahGardnerAntista. Great. It's a mouthful.
We're going to have a little link for you guys.
Yes, please.
Tell everybody a little bit about you and your union status and representation and what your current auditions in terms of all that are.
I'm currently still non-union. I have a commercial agent, a manager, and now a theatrical agent. And auditions right now are very consistent commercially.
Mostly non-union? Are you going up for any
Mostly non-union, but some union.
Some union. Great.
And then theatrically, I've been getting a lot more feature film auditions. And that spans SAG and non-union.
Yeah. Okay, great. And how do you and your reps feel about you being union? Is that important to you? Do your reps, are they telling you hold off? How's all that going?
My new theatrical agent that I'm signing with, usually she only takes union. But because it's a referral, she wants me, she's going to take me. Yeah. That being said, she would prefer me to be union.
Great.
Yeah, that is definitely a huge goal of mine and would love to, there's different ways that I've been thinking about working towards that.
Okay. But wait, Sarah, wait. I just want to smush and little chicks are so sweet. I have to interrupt you. Okay. This year, our Casting Network sponsorship has put the podcast into a new union category where our guests are able to join the union. So here we are breaking the news to Sarah, sweet Sarah. Thanks to Casting Networks for making that happen. Go to castingnetworks.com/Audrey and get $65 off with promo code Audrey65. Extra thanks to them. This is awesome. It's awesome that you are going to save $65 and also that Sarah is going to join our union. Isn't that awesome?
And now back to a regularly scheduled program.
The good news is that we're sponsored by Casting Networks this year. They have brought us to a tier of contracts with SAG-AFTRA where you are now eligible.
What?
Yes. Welcome.
Are you kidding me?
Welcome to the union.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
What?
yay.
Are you kidding?
No, it's real. Yeah. It was a real goal of mine this year to be able to move some people forward. And I reached out to Alexandra and I was like, who's ready? Who's ready to go?
Oh my
And
God.
yay. Yeah, no. Yeah. This would be really great. Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Great.
Oh
Love
my
it.
God,
I'll
thank
take,
you.
of course.
What?
You're also getting a year of Casting Networks for free.
Oh my gosh.
Great. Thanks. Casting Networks. We'll take it. But yeah, it's something that I'm really glad that you've already thought about and you're ready. Like I watched all of your stuff. You're so ready. And every day that goes by that you're not auditioning for more and more both television and union commercial, it's just like you're ready. You're so beyond ready.
I'm shocked.
Yay! We're also this year, we're celebrating small wins. And you had talked about that earlier, which was really great about, wins in class and things like that. But we want to sort of celebrate any wins you have.
Yeah.
You have any wins, big or small, from the last
Let me
bit
pull up
that
my
you wanna-
notes. Because now I'm flustered and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
I
I'm
can't.
here for it.
I
I'm here
don't
for
even
it.
know. Oh my
I'm
God.
here for it.
Okay. Small wins and big wins and wins.
Great.
Well, I already mentioned I just signed with a new theatrical
That's really
agency.
great.
And now this win of getting to be SAG eligible is a huge win.
Great.
Co-stars, that this past year I auditioned for more co-stars than I ever have, and that was like a huge goal of mine, was to just get more of those numbers. And I'm really haven't booked any yet, but I'm on my way. I can feel it, and I'm glad that
You might need to be union.
I might need to be, which I would not mind. A feature film that I worked on was released last year in theaters.
Great.
And I didn't act in that one. I worked behind the camera in production, which was so fun. And it works my like type A brain of like organizing. So it was really fun.
Great.
Got new headshots and I booked 2 commercials and a short film.
Awesome. Lastly, a season theme this year is grace, giving ourselves grace, giving others grace. Because I have felt that people are tired. People are tired of being tired. People are overwhelmed. And we just need to give ourselves some more grace, and we need to give a lot of other people a lot more grace. So I would love to hear what you may do going forward to give yourself some grace, and also anyone in particular that you are looking to give some grace to.
So last year my mom passed away, and that was took me out for a while and had to sort of like come back to baseline. And I remember I had this like very meta moment where I was like walking in the grocery store about 3 months after it happened. And I was like, nobody knows what I'm going through. And they're looking at me and they don't know that my mom just passed away from a horrible, horrible disease. And then it like got me thinking about, the cliche thing of, I don't know what anyone's going through. Like I'm looking at all these people and we're all going through something and I'll never know. And everyone's in the middle of a story. And I think going through my own loss and trauma of that loss last year has really, I hope, helped me deepen compassion for myself and grace for myself on the days that it's harder to take it a little bit slower and more gently. And also by extension for other people, because I think I look at everyone now as like, oh my gosh, like their dad could have just passed away, or they could be dealing with medical bills.
Yes.
Like I have a friend
or their own medical issues,
or so they got scary news about something or whatever it is. And I think especially in this industry where we got to kind of be like on and progressing. Sometimes there's this, at least I felt that pressure to be. Last year I was like, I can't, I have to take a break. I have to take a breath. So just extending that same kindness to other people. I think especially the ones of us that present as like happy and laughing and fun. I think I'm a little bit more like, are you okay? Like even more. Cause I'm just like, I know even during the time last year, I was having good times sometimes, but that wasn't representative of the moments I'm in my car at night crying for 30 minutes.
Love sobbing in the car.
I had so many car sobs. I'm actually really glad I didn't live in New York after my mom passed away, because subway sobbing is really embarrassing.
That's all I do. All I did, all of New York, was I just cried on the subway.
I just put sunglasses on and just
Oh, I didn't
pretended
even
nobody. You just did it out. You're like, everyone will see me
Well,
cry.
also everyone cries on
That's
the
true,
subway.
they do.
It's just
They
this
do.
thing where like it's this very weird
It's a
like
bonding
personal
moment.
window.
Yeah.
Where somebody, you have no idea who they are. They're just a random
And
person.
meanwhile, there's a
and
guy
they're
peeing in the middle of
and they're just sitting there and they're sobbing. And you don't say anything to them. You're just like, yeah, I feel you.
I know.
Yeah.
And you just kind of look and you're like, yeah.
All I did cry on the subway.
I'm so glad you did that. That's an
girl.
induction into New York
I
society.
was like, and I'm in, and then cry, and go to work. And then I'm in, cry, go home.
I know it's
know?
great. So you've cried everywhere. So you're good. You're good.
I've done a lot. There's a lot of dead people in my life. We've really shoveled some tears
my
around.
My sister and I were talking about this, and we were like, what's really interesting is that I feel like the more things happen like that to you, the funnier you get.
Girl.
We have gotten, me and my sister should open our own comedy show. Like
feel you.
Our morbid
feel
sense
you.
of humor has like,
Yep.
sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry if it's too dark, you guys. I'm really sorry.
My shit goes dark. It goes so dark. And Jesse's always like, it's not appropriate. So what we need, like,
but that's what I mean. This is not how you present. So I think insane people are not, I imagine you have friends like this too, who like, oh, they haven't lost their parents yet. And so they look at you like, oh, you're getting through it in a weird way. Like maybe I'll be able to too. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you when you go through that. It's a difficult experience.
Well, listen, I'm so proud of you. I am.
Oh my gosh,
You've earned
thank
this
you.
so much. And I mean, honestly, you have been working so smart and so deliberately and moving forward. And it's so awesome to watch people just put one foot in front of the other and then get a little something and then keep going. And because I know how hard it is and I know how rewarding it is. And I know that the space between the rewards is often impenetrable and feels disempowering. Yeah. So I'm so proud of you for continuing and being creative to find new ways to stay passionate, stay excited, and keep going.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That really means a lot.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week on Audrey Helps Actors, Jason Mims. He's just great. I can't wait for you all to meet him, those of you who don't know him already. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, this one is chicks. I just want to give her so much love hugs. Yes, I just love it. This episode was mixed and mastered by Thomas Snodgrass, produced and edited by Jesse Lumen. Still so handsome. I mean, what is a girl to do? Get fucked, I guess. Show music by Ari De Niro. Theme song by Aalok Mehta and 108 Hill. All right, everyone. Don't forget your towel. I don't forget mine. That's why I just booked another job. Booking jobs. Gonna thank my manager for helping me book jobs. Booking jobs. I hope that you get some booking jobs. Thanks again to Casting Networks for your sponsorship, for helping make Sarah a member of SAG-AFTRA, and for this beautiful promo code. Please go to castingnetworks.com/Audrey and get $65 off with promo code Audrey65. Share it, please. Give people $65. When you get $65 and you spend it on literally anything, will you take a picture and send it to me and be like, $65 saved, $65 spent on gas, $65 spent on a new hoodie, $65 spent on your adoption fee for your new aminal.
Audrey helps actors 'cause they don't know anything.